Train to Busan. Now this of course is going to be my spoiler-free review for the film. I'll have a spoiler discussion. Most likely it'll be sometime tomorrow. Normally I do this, spoiler-free review and then I do my spoiler discussion right after. But this movie was actually shown to me by my girlfriend. She loves this movie. She doesn't really watch a lot of foreign stuff, and it took you've been together I feel like forever. And finally she's seen officially one anime, and now she's getting into foreign films. So it's cool, it took forever, and she's even had people she's known even longer than me, and it's finally we're getting her there where she's watching other stuff. So she loves this movie, and she's like, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. So she'd seen it maybe 3 days ago, and now, it's last night we ended up watching it again. So my spoiler discussion will be with her, because she really wanted to be in the video for that one, so this will be just my spoiler-free thing. And it was really good. It's a good zombie movie. This is on Netflix, by the way. It's one of those movies where it's every once in a while, and I actually do this, every once in a while on Netflix, I'll just search, foreign films, and you'll find something awesome. And this is one of those things. I found, I was looking for it, but, back in the day, I would find, a billion different martial arts movies and all sorts of amazing films on Netflix. Some of them, sadly, aren't on there anymore. There's one called Chocolate. That movie is freaking amazing. If you can find it, definitely watch that. But this is really good. It was a good zombie movie. Zombies, 28 weeks later type stuff, where this is, it's really intense. It's it has pretty much the best of both worlds. It's got the emotional ties. There's more emotion than you would probably expect for a horror movie in general, first off, but then especially a zombie movie. There's hardly ever any real connection to characters. It's always okay, you have this character. I feel zombie movies do this the most, but most horror movies, it's you have characters that know each other, and I feel zombie movies takes the idea of all the main characters, but they never know each other. That's how zombie movies always are. It's always this is the main person, and then they find the other main characters as the film goes on. It's just like that, except with it being set on a train. It truly is set on a train for most of the film. They get, there's a lot more, personal connection there, because they're truly stuck together, and it goes through, and they have a decent amount of characters, so you get to learn about a couple of different people. And I love the way it played out. It starts pretty fast. I think it was after maybe 10 minutes or so, they're on the train, and it's just chaos right after. And it's you get bit, instant. It's not like Walking Dead, and this ain't no Resident Evil stuff. It's they bit you, and about people in this movie, they'll get bit on the neck and be and stop mid-fall, and then get back up as zombies. They turn almost instantaneously, and they're fast. So it's 28 weeks later, they run and fall off of stuff, and it's just nuts. The whole way through, it starts fast, and then it stays that way through the whole thing. And it's really well done. It's got great zombies, and it's definitely got some good scares in there. It's got jump scares, but no real cheap jump scares or anything. It's just crazy moments happen that you might not expect. It's holy crap, how is this going to play out? But it's really well done in that regard. And then the actual character development is really good. It's actually you get attached to the characters, because you see this small group of people, and characters get split up sometimes, and it's really well done. So there are a ton of emotional elements in this film, which you don't really see that too often. I feel the best horror movies give you that sort of attachment to characters in such a short amount of time. I think it's about a little over 2 hours, something like that, and it's really well done. You get attached to these characters. You see them try to survive and team up with each other after characters that just met, and some people don't like each other from the beginning, and it's really well done. And I like the way that it plays out the whole way through. And the only thing I could really liken it to, and this is only be for people that are big into games, but for anyone who might not be, watch the trailer for the very first Dead Island game, and that's what I think of when I think of this movie. If I could connect it to a game, the emotion in that trailer is totally different from the actual game. It's just you kill a bunch of zombies with a bunch of weapons. But the trailer for that blew up when that game was first coming out, and that trailer was put on YouTube. It was crazy, because it was this is an insanely emotional trailer about this family being attacked by zombies, and the way they do it, it's insanely emotional. It's I don't know, a 2.5 minute, 3 minute trailer. And that's what I think of if I could connect it to anything else that's already been out there without spoiling the actual film. That, I think, is a good way to look at it. It's got zombies, it's really crazy, but there's a lot of heart to it. There's a ton of emotion, and it's really well done. They got a lot of different types of characters. There's that character that you hate, and I think every great horror movie has that as well. Where it's just that one person that does something either dumb, or it's just they keep doing dumb stuff, and you're just I wish every death upon them. But it's really good. It's a really great film. I feel there's not too much to it, because I said they're in one location, so I can't talk too much about exactly how things play out with that, but they do some really great elements with the zombies, and some of the visuals are really good. Like, it gets crazy, like there are certain scenes, they don't do it too much, but there are a couple parts where it's kind of like World War Z, where the zombies will just run so much, they'll just start running on top of each other and falling, but they'll have traction, like they'll make like small little hills and stuff on top of each other. And I thought that was a cool element. It wasn't used like a ton, but there are a couple parts where that happens, and it's just crazy, like the whole way through. It's like, man, I'm not really sure what's going to happen next. I'm not sure, you know, how people are going to make it, or who's going to make it and who's going to, you know, not make it, because there are so many characters that are introduced fairly early on. Once you get on the train, that's when, you know, you start to get everyone. But it's really well done. I really thought it was good. I love the, you know, zombie element of it, but it also has like great emotional impact that a lot of zombie movies don't typically have. Like, it's not, it's hard to say, it's not really horror. Like, it's not like, oh, it's creepy and it's nighttime and it's hard to see the zombies. It's like, it's daytime through like most of the film. Like, at least where all the action is, it's daytime 100%. So, you know, it's not like, oh man, they could be around the corner, but in some ways it's definitely like that. But I really enjoyed it for the way they kind of change up some of the, you know, typical elements of a zombie film, where it's like, okay, you just have characters where it's like, man, I hope they make it, and then typically when people die, it's like, oh, that sucks. But it's not like depressing and like really sad. Like, they have like some real emotional moments when some of the characters die off. But pretty much when anyone dies, it's fairly emotional. It's like there are like quite a few emotional moments when characters die. Like, every death, I think, is emotion based, and most of them actually affect you if you're watching, or if, you know, unless you just don't give a crap about the characters. But most of them have a bit of emotional weight to them, and I thought that was really well done, because you don't really see that too often in zombie movies. It's like, okay, well, it sucks when you see it, and you might root for like this character or that character because you like their personality more than others. But everyone's pretty awesome in this, except for like a couple of people. There's like a very small group, but pretty much every person is like, I want everyone to make it, and when things don't exactly play out that way, you don't know how it's going to work because there are quite a few characters. But I thought it was a really well done film. It's a South Korean movie, so I thought that was interesting. It wasn't something that I was expecting. I feel like there was another movie, I think it's called The Host, and I want to say that was a Korean film as well, and that's a really good one too. And that's totally different. It's not zombies, that's like a monster thing. But I was like, it kind of reminded me of that, with like the emotional element, but it also has that sort of horror monster element to it, but that's not really the main focus. It's really like, it truly is the people, and it's done well, because even, you know, pretty much every zombie movie is like, oh, we gotta survive the zombies, and it's about the people surviving, but you still don't really get that attached to them. It's just like, oh, that sucks, I really want that person to make it, and typically, you know, like, this person's gonna make it anyway. It's always like, you know, that certain person or whatever. But it's like, okay, normally when people die off, it's like, ah, that sucks, they almost made it. But this actually, you know, they take time to be like, this is what's happening to this person, and this is how it's going to affect the rest of the film. And so I really like that idea, because it doesn't just happen and then it's like, oh crap, that sucked that just happened. It's like, that happens and then it's there throughout the rest of the film. So I really like that idea, like the true weight of actual death, like, is actually permeated every time it happens. It just stacks up throughout the film. So I really like that idea. I like the way that it was ultimately played out. Like I said, the action as far as the zombies go, really well done. Like, it's just, you know, super fast, excuse me, really crazy zombies, very entertaining to watch, and it really adds to that tension. It's not like, you know, The Walking Dead, where it's like slow moving zombies and stuff like that. It's really intense, and they're on a train, so it's kind of like you go this way or you go that way, and so you can imagine how that might play out for, you know, some of the more intense sequences. But it's a really great film. Highly recommend it. Like I said, it is on Netflix. You could probably find it somewhere else if you don't happen to have Netflix, but really think it's a great zombie film. It's a great emotional film. It puts the two together very, very well, amazingly well. So highly recommend you guys check it out. Of course, if you have seen it, or if you have any random questions, please put your comments down in the comment section below. If you have any spoiler comments, you can just make sure you put a spoiler tag, or you can wait, like I said, until I do the spoiler discussion with my girlfriend. But either way, please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.